So hi, Katie here. So I'm trying out a different sort of camera, one on my webcam. So yeah. So basically this is just a update to my vlog. I haven't really done a talking update for a while, so I thought I would just sort of say a few things about stuff that's been going on in my life over the last couple of weeks. Good news is the endocrinologist has upped my dose of estrogen, so I am now on, wait for it, 50 meg, so that's good. And that involves putting two 25 meg patches on my posterior, on the sides of my buttocks, and kind of changing those twice a week. My estrogen level is still going to be pretty low, but it's quite good that my last set of blood results kind of showed up as fairly normal, and that I'm allowed to actually continue with the estrogen and on a higher dose. So that's good. By Christmas time, I really want to be on 100 meg again, and on some kind of sensible amount of estrogen to help me, help me to transition. There's nothing that much started to happen yet. I've had no chest development. My skin has actually become softer, but nothing, nothing else really has happened. Maybe I've been a little bit more kind of moody and frustrated, but that might be where I am at the moment in my life. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've been out and about a little bit more than I usually am. So I went to Pride about 2 weeks ago, to Pride Cymru, Cardiff Pride, and that was really good. We had beautiful weather. So I went on the parade in the morning, and then in the afternoon I went to the big queer picnic, which is really nice. It was really relaxing. And then I didn't. I just went for a drink with my friends, and I went home about 8 o'clock then, because I'm not very good with crowds, and that sounds kind of funny, because I went to Pride and there were 50,000 people there this year, and actually 15,000 on the parade itself. And the parade actually took an hour this year rather than the usual sort of 40 minutes, because of the amount of people on the parade. So but like afterwards then there are a lot of kind of like pub and club revellers in Cardiff, and it just got really packed and noisy, and I that's not really my scene. I don't like crowds. I just get really nervous and I feel really overwhelmed. So yeah, so I just went home and had my tea, and that was it. And then the other big thing I did last weekend was I went clubbing for the first ever time in my life. So that was quite an experience, because I actually, on Friday, I get up for work about 6:30 a.m. and so I did a full working day, and then I met my friends about 6 o'clock-ish in the afternoon in the Golden Cross, and we went from there to a place called Pop World, which is a club in Cardiff Queen Street. I think it's part of a chain, because I think there's one in Swansea as well. And that was quite good. We just had a little dance there. Spent about an hour there, and we actually went somewhere to eat as well before, just to kind of like get some food in before we started drinking. So we went there and we danced for about an hour, they were playing a lot of 80s music. There's a lot of older people in there. It's quite a small place, but it was quite a good atmosphere. So we had a little dance, and then we left and we went to a gay club, a LGBT club called Wow, which is at the bottom of Queen Street. So there was a drag act there, and we kind of watched the drag act for a while, and then we had a dance, and then we went back. We went to Pulse, which is like another gay club, and that was packed, and we sat outside, and my friends Inga and Joanne had a little dance, so which is on one of my video uploads. So I didn't, unfortunately. I made a rubbish video of it. You know, they danced really well, but I couldn't get the video on my camera to, you know, I couldn't rotate it, so it was like sideways, and it was just like, typical of me, just make a mess of everything. So yeah, and then we went to the Golden Cross then about 12 o'clock, and I got a little bit upset because this guy was messing around and running around, and he knocked my friend Inga over, and she just kind of went flat down like that on the floor with a third. You know, she was all right, but we thought it was an accident at first, but then he was sort of like crowded around, you know, in a circle with his mates, and they were looking at some phone video footage and laughing, and we wondered whether he was going around and deliberately knocking into people and pushing them over. So I got quite angry about that, and I actually went up to sort of remonstrate with them, and my other friends sort of like pulled me back. Joanne said, "Oh, you know, don't bother." Like, but I did say to them, "You're on YouTube. You realise you're on YouTube, you know?" Because I was really, really I was really, really fed up, angry with what they were doing. So. But it might have been an accident, but they could have seriously hurt somebody if they were doing it on purpose. You know? Yeah. So then, yeah, we went to the Golden Cross for about an hour and a half, and the time just flew by. And it's a really nice place, the Golden Cross, because it's like kind of like a renowned gay pub in Cardiff, and but it's really welcoming because you get all kinds of people there. You know, you get straight people, you get gay people, you get trans people. It's just like young and old, you know, so that was fun. We were there until 2 o'clock. We had a good old dance, as you see in the video, and then we went back to Wow. Now, the funny thing about Wow, what I didn't expect to happen, was that we actually got chatted up by some straight guys in there, and I didn't expect there to be straight guys in Wow. You know, I thought, oh, it's an LGBT club. Bearing in mind, I've never sort of been clubbing before, so I had no idea, you know, what it was going to be like. And yeah, this guy, he sort of like got really friendly with us. That we started dancing together, and he was mostly trying to get off with my friend Inga. But he did start to kind of like hit on me a bit as well. Believe it or not, you know. I mean, perhaps he was a bit drunk, I don't know. But, you know, it was dark in there, I hasten to add, so, you know, people couldn't really see what I looked like, but he couldn't see my teeth for starters, probably, but he said to me, we couldn't really have a conversation because the music was loud, but he said to me, "Are you a boy or a girl?" Something like that, and of course I said, "Oh, I'm a girl, you know, I'm a girl." And I think he worked out I was transgender by my voice, but he said, "Oh," he said, "you're really pretty," he said, "you have a really nice face, you know," and so I was like, I said, "Oh, thank you," you know, I kind of lapped that up, you know, he was just being nice, but I lapped it up nevertheless. And yeah, so that was good, and he was dancing with us, and I felt quite, you know, I thought, oh, well, you know, he was quite accepting of us, you know, and I thought, yeah, you know, some people are really nice, we had fun, we had a dance, and then, but my friend said afterwards, my friend Joanne said, because I didn't realise this was going on, he said, oh, I had to ask him to calm down a bit, because he was actually, you know, he started touching you behind, you know, and and that, and getting a bit too touchy-feely. So, and then at the end of the night, what was weird, just before he left, and he was very polite about it, but just before he left, he said to me, he said, I hope you don't mind, you know, he said, I hope you don't mind, but he said, I ask this of every, you know, girl I like, you know, who I meet in a club. He said, would you mind if I kind of like bit your shoulder really gently? So I said, okay, you know, so yeah, I don't mind, you know, as long as it's really gently. And he sort of bit my shoulder really gently, he didn't really bite it. And then he said, he said, would you mind biting your friend's shoulder for me? So I said, oh, okay, you know, my friend Inga, she was up for it, she thought it was quite funny. So I gently bit Inga's shoulder, and she kind of feigned, like, you know, a little, she went, ow, you know, and then he left then and said goodbye. So, yeah, it takes all sorts really, you know, but I don't know, maybe that's what some guys get off on, but yeah, on the whole it was a really good night, and we got the first train home, which was 4:35 a.m. Inga lives in Cardiff, but my friend Joanne lives in the same town as me, so we actually went home on 4:35 a.m. train, and I got home just before it got light, basically just after 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. So yeah, so that was good, a bit different. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. So I'm sorry that my vlogs are a bit on the, you know, sort of fairly boring, I don't know, but yeah, so I'd just like to say thank you for everybody who's left encouraging and really nice comments on my, you know, underneath my videos, and also thank you very much to the people who have subscribed to my video channel. It's really, really kind of you, because I know that like my videos aren't really as interesting as other people's, and so it's really kind of you to kind of just sort of, you know, give me some encouragement. I really do appreciate that. So and I've had a few people leaving comments about me, you know, not looking, you know, looking hot, not, you know, looking ugly and stuff. And so yeah, but that's what I expect really. If I'm on YouTube, you know, everybody gets it, so it doesn't really bother me that much. So I wouldn't, you know, I mean, if they make comments about my friends, that upsets me. But you know, because they haven't chosen to go on YouTube, and you know, so. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. I think, you know, people are going to make comments, particularly if you're female, particularly if you're transgender. They will make comments about your appearance, and guys get it as well. So it's, you know, it's a pity people feel the need to do that, you know, because really, whether how somebody looks doesn't necessarily make them any less authentic or inauthentic, a woman or a man or human being, or it doesn't sort of cancel out what they've got to say, you know. I mean, yeah, my videos are quite boring, you know, at the moment. I haven't really worked out how to use YouTube, and I'm not very computer savvy, but yeah, I mean, the way I look is kind of immaterial, I think, you know. I try to put across a good image of myself like everyone else does, you know. I dress the way that I want to dress now, because for so long I was too scared to be myself, and now I kind of finally, at like it's taken me so long, so many wasted years to actually realise that I should just go out and do it and be myself. So, and I think that's a tragedy really with a lot of, particularly like us trans people, we're too scared to be ourselves because, and I mean in the past, I mean still today, you know, there is a lot of hostility towards us, you know, and there's a lot of people. I think a lot of people really fully support us 100%, you know, and again, another lot of people don't really care if somebody's trans, you know, they just accept people as they are, and but there is a hard sort of sizable minority of people who really preach some awful hatred towards us, and they're not only on the right wing, they're not only sort of on the evangelical right, you know, they're people who sort of like would identify as ideologically left wing, but they really have a problem with us and see us as an abstract sort of malevolent political entity when really all we are is just normal people like anyone else. You know, we just want to live our lives. We don't have an agenda. You know, we just like a diverse random group of people who happen to be trans. It's just, I just think it's a pity really that people, you know, people feel that way, but then same, you know, the same sort of people who will do that, you know, if they weren't targeting us, they'd be targeting some other minority group, like, you know, they'd be hating on Muslims, they'd be hating on Jewish people, they'd be hating on people because of the colour of their skin, you know. It's just some people, unfortunately, fixate on a minority group to blame all their problems on, and perhaps, you know, they feel it's easier for them to do that than to look at themselves in the mirror and to be self-critical, and you know, it is sort of, and you know, I'm not saying that I feel, you know, I think these people should definitely be called out, you know. There's no excuse really for transphobia or racism or anti-Semitism or Islamophobia. There's no excuse really for the, you know, the. And in fact, it's quite insidious and calculating the way that the far right wing have actually sort of tried to, you know, there's been a resurgence of the far right in recent years, and I think that, you know, Donald Trump coming to power in the USA, you know, people like Bolsonaro, people, you know, even Scott Morrison in Australia is transphobic, and you know, I think he's got some other opinions. I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some other opinions that are quite bigoted as well, you know, and that kind of scapegoat minority groups. You know, people, and like you've got Brexit in the UK as well. I mean, our press, I think, is terrible in this country. They stir up such hatred against people. It's yeah. I do realise I'm going on a bit. This video is almost, you know, 20 minutes long now. It's, you know, so I'm going to say goodbye. So cheerio, folks, and I love you all. Bye.